Chapter 13. David's eyes widened at my appearance.
What happened?
He growled at Sergio.
Katerina pepper sprayed her. I've already wiped her down with solution, but she'll have to shower.
David inspected my eyes and face.
Do you feel okay?
I'm a lot better. There's still a dull burning sensation. He nodded.
It sucks being sprayed. I'd rather be stunned with a taser.
His eyes drifted to Sergio's hand, which was still on the small of my back.
I'll show her to the shower.
He touched my hand to lead me to the bathroom, but then stopped to inspect them as well.
What happened to your hands? Was this from Katerina too?
I shook my head as I surveyed my hands. The swelling was completely gone, but there was still some bruising and a few cuts. That's from Dagor. David turned to Sergio in a flash.
You were supposed to protect her. You promised me.
David growled in a low, threatening tone.
That happened yesterday. And as soon as you lowered your damn gun from my head, I ran back and helped her.
Why didn't you tell me? I would have helped.
Because I didn't know you knew her. I assumed you would hurt her like Dagor. Until today when you were pointing your gun at my head again, I didn't know you were friends.
And that's the only reason I'm teaming up with you.
I was feeling left out of the conversation, but I didn't want to involve myself in their pissing match. They obviously needed to work out their issues or get a timeout. I just wanted the cool water of a shower pouring on me. I headed for the bathroom. They could duke it out, whip out their guns, or measure their male anatomy for alpha ranking for all I cared. I slammed the bathroom door to block out their bickering.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Two voices said from beyond the bathroom door. It was quieter on the inside of the bathroom. I turned the shower knob to lukewarm and stepped inside. The water stung my raw and tender skin. The water quickly bit those spots first. After a few moments of wincing, the stinging and burning dissipated. After 10 minutes of water pouring over me, I decided I should go into the living room to see if the boys were still alive. I turned the water off and stepped out of the shower. I found a towel in the narrow closet and patted the droplets. I cracked the bathroom door open and listened. I detected the soft murmur of voices. They must be playing nice now. Sergio, I called. Do you happen to have clothes for me?
Yes, I'll be right there.
I'll bring them to her.
David said.
I have to get them from my closet.
Give them to me. I'll give them to Nadia.
Why?
You could be a pervert.
Are you kidding me? How do I know you're not the pervert?
I rolled my eyes. Dagor would have been easier to deal with than these two. I slammed the door closed.
Sorry.
Sorry.
A minute later, Sergio's clothes were delivered to me by Sergio, with David close on his heels. I snatched the clothes and shut the door.
Are you happy now?
I heard Sergio say.
Yes.
I slipped on Sergio's t-shirt, making sure there weren't any lingering Sergio scents. Otherwise, David might have to have the pervert talk with me. I slid on the black running pants. Both fit rather well considering they weren't mine. Just a little on the baggy side. Nothing so bad as to fall down and embarrass me. I cracked open the bathroom door and listened for bickering. Once I verified it was safe, I walked out to the living room. The boys were hunkered down on folding chairs, scrutinizing a laptop on a card table. I found a third folding chair and wedged myself between them to make sure they were separated. Are we all better now? I asked. David smiled at me with a wink. Sergio nodded warily. Stop bullying Sergio, I said.
Not going to happen until he can prove he's trustworthy. He's not on my side yet.
Am I on your side? I asked, still not knowing who David was working for.
We're always on the same side.
And what side would that be?
My side.
You know what I mean, I said. He nodded.
Yes, I know what you mean, but I'm not telling you.
I huffed. What are we looking at? I asked, inspecting the laptop screen, which was currently showing a city map.
We're figuring out the best plan of attack.
You know he has Katerina, right?
Sergio filled me in. Are you feeling better? Your eyes are still red and puffy.
I'm much better. Where's Dagor?
I believe he's at the apartment he took you to before.
Sergio said.
Katerina might be with him, or he may have already killed her since she was of no further use. I've called him several times to see what he wants me to do, but he's not answering. I figure he wants me out of the picture now that he has the trophy. That way he can collect the reward by himself and cut me out.
How do we get to him? I asked.
That's the problem. I don't want to go in there with guns pointed if Katerina's still alive. He would use her as a shield and shoot back.
David said. Is there a way to lure him to a safe spot?
I don't think so.
Sergio said. His eyes brightened after a moment of thought.
I could make another call to him. I'll leave him a message saying I have Nadia in my custody. He would jump at the chance to finally get his revenge. He would even risk missing his ride to Panama just so he could finish his twisted vendetta.
Obviously, Nadia would be somewhere safe and we could nab him the trophy and then find Katerina.
It could work.
Sergio said thoughtfully.
Where should we tell him to go? He'll ask me why I can't bring Nadia to him.
If he thinks there's still a bomb in Maya's house, you could tempt him to come and push the button, I said. Tell him Maya and I will both be inside. He would go for that.
He does have an insane amount of hostility toward you. I think it would work.
Oh. I turned to David with concern. I have to call Maya. She was supposed to stay at the casino so Dagor couldn't find her. But when I called Grayson today, his new assistant director wouldn't put my call through. I even tried Remy, but she took over his phone too. I was full of pepper spray and couldn't do anything or see anything. I should have called Maya right away, but I wasn't thinking clearly.
Are you kidding me? Maya could be anywhere.
I fished out my phone and dialed Maya. She answered right away. I pressed the speaker phone button so David could listen. Maya, where are you? I asked.
I'm out shopping. Why?
David tapped me on my shoulder.
Tell her to go back to the casino.
He said in a low whisper.
Who was that?
David and I gaped at each other with large eyes. How did she hear that? It was Grayson. He needs you at the casino.
Grayson, is that you?
Maya asked.
What's with your new assistant? She seemed nice at first, but then she wouldn't let me talk to you. It was very odd. She said you were busy and couldn't take personal phone calls.
I looked to David for a response.
Just get to the casino. I'll explain there.
He said, mimicking Grayson's voice. I thought he was spot on, but Maya wasn't fooled.
David?
My eyebrows shot up. How did she know? David glared at me. That was Grayson, I fibbed. He was walking out the door when he said that. Maybe he sounded like David. They are brothers, after all.
Oh!
Sadness suffocated her single word. I punched David in the arm as hard as I could. He winced, but didn't make any sound. Maya, I'll meet you at the casino. We can split a pitcher of margaritas and talk about how dumb Fiona is.
Yeah, okay.
Maya said, slightly happier with the promise of talking about Grayson's newest employee. Call me as soon as you arrive, I said.
Okay, bye.
I ended the call. David blew out a long and slow breath.
That was close.
I nodded. I was thankful Maya was safe despite Fiona's interference. Grayson was going to hear an earful from me the next time I saw him. But since he's on lockdown with Fiona, I didn't foresee that happening anytime soon.
Sergio, make the call to Dagor. We don't have much time to spare. Let's get this done.
Sergio picked up his phone from the card table.
I'll make the call in the bedroom so there isn't another mistake on voices.
We nodded and watched him disappear into the bedroom. He closed the door behind him.
I need to go home to Maya.
David said.
I miss her so much. I haven't heard her say my name for so long I nearly forgot what it sounded like.
You've been gone way too long. I know she'll forgive you, but I hope she at least makes you suffer for a while. He tousled my hair.
I've suffered enough, believe me.
And I did. We sat together, lost in thought.
Let's roll.
Sergio said on his way out of the bedroom.
He'll be at the house in 30 minutes. He didn't tell me where the trophy was, but I think it may be with him because he said I had to finish Katerina off at the apartment. I think that means he wants to split as soon as he kills Nadia.
David and I stood to leave.
Go to the casino and meet up with Maya.
David said to me.
Sergio and I can finish this.
I didn't want to see Dagor ever again, and I wasn't keen on seeing Katerina either. Not going with them was no loss. I'll get a taxi, I said.
I would offer to drop you off at the casino, but Sergio and I can't be late. With Dagor so excited to kill, he may be early.
It's not a problem. I'm used to taking taxis,
Why don't you take my moped?
Sergio offered. It would save me taxi money, but it could also create a hospital bill that would cost more money. However, I only had $2 on me, so the taxi wouldn't get me very far. The moped is insured, right? You won't be mad if I accidentally total it, will you? Sergio grinned.
The moped was for your benefit. What better way to look goofy and friendly than on a moped?
As long as you won't be mad if I ruin it, I said, contemplating if I was going to make it to the casino in one piece. Sergio and I followed David out the door. I stood between them in the middle of the elevator. When the elevator arrived on the ground floor, Sergio led me to the moped.
Go ahead and check it out.
Sergio said. Straddling the bike, I hesitantly lowered myself onto the seat. With the kickstand on the ground, it was sturdy enough that I could play with the steering and controls.
The key goes into the ignition here, and the start button is here.
Sergio showed me the throttle, brakes, and the blinker.
And here is the horn.
A burst of giggles escaped my lips. It sounded like a kid's bike horn.
And here's the helmet. You should wear it.
Sergio urged. It was a no-frills black helmet with a chin strap. My brain couldn't afford any more concussions. I accepted the helmet gladly. I stood while he lowered it onto my head and looped the strap to tighten it.
David and I are leaving. I suggest lapping the block a few times so you get a feel for it.
I nodded. When he didn't move, I lifted my eyes to find him gazing at me. There was something in the way his eyes lingered. I wanted to know what it was. It was as if he was happy to be near me, but it saddened him as well. Sergio? He hugged me. Not his goofy Sergio 1.0 clumsy hug, but a hug that made the world vanish for a flittering moment. It was unexpected and tender, although it was crossing the friendship line. Somehow I didn't mind. He lowered his lips to mine. I watched in slow motion as he closed in for a kiss. Was I going to let this happen? I needed time to think. Would one kiss hurt? It might enlighten me as to what I want. Do I wait around for Grayson when he doesn't want a relationship? Do I take Caleb up on his insane wager? Or do I want to try a new possibility? A hand shot between our faces before the kiss could be sealed. David glared at Sergio while his hand remained a barrier. Sergio scowled at David. I sighed and started the moped.
She's not yours.
David barked at Sergio. I'm not Grayson's either, I said. He made that clear. David opened his mouth to speak, but I turned my head and gently twisted the throttle. I teetered for the length of 2 cars. Then I was on my way. The moped was easy to drive. I just had to remember to take it easy on the throttle and the brakes. In fact, the moped was fun despite the lingering remembrance of Sergio's near kiss and Grayson being oblivious of me. But I would see Maya soon. Her sparkling happiness was infectious. I needed that happiness. Desperately.